Well, we made it through the top four. Here is the number 5 team from Gold Sheet for the 2024 college football season. Remember, these rankings are based on their summer power ratings. And how about this? There were 4 teams in the college football playoffs last year. Only one returns their head coach, and that is the Texas Longhorns. They are our number 5 team, and if you watch the Alabama video, easily could have been the number 4 team as well. We had a lot of discussions where to place Texas. Being in a new conference, having to prep for many new teams, had us drop them here to the number 5 spot. You'll actually see their national championship and odds are better. You see that the national championship odds, plus 750. The conference championship, plus 320. To make the playoffs, yes, minus 250. No, plus 190. Season win total at 10.5. Over, you're getting plus 140. Under, you're laying 170. To go undefeated, yes is plus 425. No is minus 600. And Quinn Ewers, Heisman, 9-1 to bring home the trophy. Now, again, these odds are June 28th from DraftKings. They will change, but again, our recommendations are based on those numbers. Let's take a look at the 2023 Longhorns. They went 12-2 straight up. They went 7-7 against the spread, and they were 6-8 over under. You look at their yards per play diff. They were number 13 in the country at plus 1.43 yards. Offense, number 9 in yards per game, number 35 on defense. Points per game, 15 on offense, 15 on defense. They play the number 2 strength of schedule. And if you look at their effective ranks on both units, based on their schedule and their stats, number 10 on offense, number 18 on defense. They had an easy schedule, easy opener. They beat Rice. They go to Alabama. They pull the upset 34-24. And there was nothing fluky about that, folks. They were plus 2 turnovers, but they were the better team on the field that day. They then have a turnover battle where they lose 3 turnovers to Oklahoma, lose that game 34-30. They rebound, play a poor game against Houston, win by 7, continue to win out though, beat Oklahoma State, and then play Washington, losing 37-31. They did give up 532 yards in the game, so the defense is what let them down that year. So I look at Texas coming into the 2024 team, and you say, well, they got to the playoffs. They're now in their 4th year with their head coach. They have a returning quarterback. And let's look at the conference cheat sheet to show those numbers. You see Texas, we have them power rated number 8. Again, the 3rd in the SEC. Their returning starters, 12. 5 on offense, 7 on defense. But the returning production number is actually very high for only having 12 starters at number 36. They do have quarterback Ewers back and recruiting. 5th overall, 3rd in the SEC. So again, when you're 5th nationally, it doesn't matter that you're 3rd in the SEC. You know you had a quality recruiting class. Now, a couple things that put Texas here below. When we talk about returning starters, they returned 12 this year. The last 3 years, they had 16, 13, and 15. So this number is significantly lower than what they had 2 out of the last 3 years. And more importantly, they lost 11 players in the draft. 39 points on my draft lost guide. They lost 2 number 1s and 3 number 2s. Let me put that in perspective. In the previous 4 years, they only had 15 players get drafted, 1 first round and 1 second round. So in 4 years, they had 2 players drafted in the top 2 rounds. Last year, they had 4 players drafted. That fall off, again, having to replace those players and not being an elite team that has that pipeline of recruiting is the reason they are where they are. Now, again, you have your staff back. You have your quarterback back. So you think they'd be higher. Well, I do like their quarterback. I do like their O-line. 4 O-line returning starters, 123 career starts. Their O-line will be one of the best in the country. And this next example I'm going to give you on receivers is exactly why, no matter how much work you put into handicapping college football in the summer, it's very difficult to give a team a power rating with the transfer portal. If I said to you, my God, the Longhorns are decimated. They had 5 receivers that had between 200 receiving yards and 1,014 receiving yards, and they lost all 5. We'd be like, well, how are they going to move the ball if they don't have any receivers? Well, let's see. Who did they bring in? They brought in Bond from Alabama, 48 receptions, 688 yards. They brought tight end Kneblack in from Alabama, 20 catches, 327 yards. They brought Golden in from Houston, 38 receptions, 404 yards, and Bolden led Oregon State in receptions and receiving yards, 48 catches, 693 yards. So again, you look at it, and if those 4 players all play well and have a good camp with yours, they can do exactly what they did. If there's any issues with those new players, they may fall off. And again, there's no secret formula, guys. It's paying attention to week 1 and week 2 of the college football season. You project where you think a team is going to be. You take a look if that is true after a week or 2, and then you make your adjustments in those power ratings. I look at this team, and, you look at Texas, best quarterback in the SEC, their running back room, they're either 1 or 2, depending on how you have them with Georgia. Their O-line, number 1 or number 2, depending on how you have them with Georgia. Their DB's decent. Their linebackers good. The weakest unit, no question, is their D-line, where they lost 2 NFL players, 2 impactful NFL players. They do have an All-American in from UTSA, which is going to help them fill 1 slot. But again, it's still going to be a downgrade for this unit. All in all, Texas is in great shape. We look at the team. We look at Sarkisian. We look at a coach in the 4th year of a system that's very important that these players are now established. And oh, by the way, behind yours, you got some guy who was like the highest freshman recruit in the last decade in Manning, and we'll see what he does. But he's going to learn a lot being a backup this year for the Texas Longhorns. The Texas Longhorns 2024 schedule. It is number 17 in our rankings. Now, they play Oklahoma every year. We all know that, the Red River rivalry. So you're only paying 3 SEC road games. That's a significant advantage on the years where you have that. Remember, though, next year, you're only going to have 3 SEC home games. So as you analyze Texas each and every year, remember, that is probably worth a quarter win when you're looking at their season win total. I have them as a favorite in all but 1 game, 2 games actually. Michigan, we have them a 1-point dog. That's going to be a pick 'em. I wouldn't be surprised if they actually are a favorite in that game. Against Oklahoma, we project them as a 6-point favorite. Home against Georgia, we project them as a 5-point dog. And at A&M to finish off the year, a 3-point favorite. So when I look at this, let's look at the bye weeks. Or are there any very difficult scheduling spots? Number 1, no back-to-back road games. That's a positive. When you look at Oklahoma, they have a bye before Oklahoma, but so does Oklahoma. When you look at the Florida game, that is a significant advantage because who does Florida have the week prior? They have Georgia in a cocktail party. So again, that is the scheduling spot for Texas, which I like. And then when I look at the final game of the regular season, prior to going to Texas A&M, Texas is home as an 18-point favorite to Kentucky. A&M has to go to Auburn the week before. That's a very difficult scheduling spot for A&M to finish at Auburn, then home against Texas. Probably the toughest 2-game stretch out of any of the FBS teams to finish off the 2024 schedule. So you see their power ratings. You see the average line in their games is minus 18.4. And when you look at the theoretical win percentages, you see that those numbers project them out to win 9.7 games this season. Well, the bettor's edge, I'm going to pull a situation from the schedule, and there actually is a line on this game as well. We have Georgia -2 against Texas. Remember, I think Texas is going to be getting 5 points in this game. Now, the Bulldogs host Mississippi State as a 24-point favorite, and they have a bye the week after. The Longhorns, remember, they lost to Oklahoma, so they have that revenge game, and then they have an SEC road game at Vanderbilt the week after. So there are situations where I look at, I'm not worried about what our projected line is. The scheduling spot supersedes where I think the line will be or where the line is. And this is a spot where I think there is an advantage to fade Texas on October 19th against the Georgia Bulldogs. A couple other bettor's edge situations to finish it up. Sarkisian is in his 4th year. He has gone 10-4 as a favorite of minus 7.5 or higher. And he's 9-1 ATS when you exclude them being a favorite of 31 points or more. I went back and looked at Sarkisian at Washington, USC, and Texas. He is 27-7 against the spread after a straight-up loss. But when he's off a loss and a dog of 6 or more, he's only 3-8, 27.3%. That leaves us a powerful number. So when he's off a loss and he's a favorite or a small dog, the +6, he has gone 24-8, 75%. And if he's off a loss as a favorite and now a pick or a favorite, Sarkisian teams have gone 9-1 against the spread. So let's keep an eye on if Texas loses any games as a favorite. He has rallied his troops after that situation, and we will look for that spot in the 2024 season. Guys, all we ask, a couple favors. We got a lot more videos to do. Please leave us a comment what you would like to see added, what you would like to see deleted, any other stats you'd like to see, stats that you think I'm wasting your time talking about. Please share your comments with us. It helps our algorithms. I can say that. I can speak English too. And please do give us a like. We appreciate it. Wager Talk TV, hit and follow. Every time we load a video, you will be notified immediately. And lastly, guys, I'm enjoying doing these top 25 videos for the Gold Sheet. GS30 is a code where I'm going to give you a code to save $30 off an annual subscription to Gold Sheet. Think about it. Weekly, from college football week 1 through the Super Bowl, normally priced at $159. With code GS30, you will pay just $129 for the finest football newsletter available on the market. Follow us at wagertalk.com, and we'll be back with team number 6.